8 ways to use Canva to improve your online author appearance. With the word nerd, Amanda Ziba. What do you do when you hear about a book or author who are new to you? Do you A, search for them on Amazon, B, look for them on social media, C, attempt to find their website, or D, all of the above? I'm a D, all of the above kind of author stalker. If I'm able to find the person on these platforms, I look for a variety of things. How many books have they written? Do their books have any reviews? Have they posted anything on social media in the last 6 months? In the last 6 weeks? Does the appearance of their online self look like they take their authorpreneurship seriously? We all know the advice, don't judge a book by its cover, fell out of use a long time ago. Good book covers sell books. Heck, good book covers sell even bad books. And I'm not advocating for trickery, but instead trying to prove a point. People pay attention to appearances, and having a good online appearance is increasingly important. I am convinced that the professional appearance of my website and social media content have convinced others to take me seriously, even though I am pretty much a no-name girl from the Midwest. I know that unless you have a graphic design degree, curating high-quality images can feel overwhelming. But I'm here to tell you it's easier than you think, and with Canva, it can even be free. In this video, I'm going to tell you about 8 images that you can create that will take your author appearance to the next level. And even better, I'm going to show you how to create them. Item number 1 is making engaging graphics for your social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook. Canva has tons of pre-sized templates ready to go that make this even easier. Let's check it out. Okay, item number 1. When you get to the Canva homepage, go to the search bar at the top of the screen and type in Facebook post. Canva's going to generate a bunch of different templates for you to be able to use, but since we're creating one specifically for writers and authors, what we're going to do is click on Create a Blank Post, and then when we get to this new page, we're going to stay on templates at the top, and we're going to type in author. So it's going to narrow down that pool of thousands of possible templates to ones that might be especially interesting and a good fit for authors. I'm going to pick this one right here. And rather than leave it as a picture of a woman or a reader or even a picture of myself, I'm going to put in a picture of my book cover. So I would go to uploads, and I already have a picture of my book cover in here. I have to scroll down to find it for a little bit. But if you don't, you just go to upload media. You could go to device. You'll go to pictures. I'll personally go to brand pictures, or actually book cover pictures. Whoops. Find the book cover that I want to work with, which is not in here. Having a good system for your filing is really important. There we go. I'm going to do this one. And it will upload, and then you'll be able to just drag it over to where the photo is and on the design, and it'll just pop right in there. So I'm going to drag it over. It'll drop right in. What I want to do, though, I don't want any of this back text in there, so I'm going to double click on the item, and I'm going to make it really, really, really big so that I only have in the part of the scenery that I'd like. I need to make it even bigger. Okay, so I just have the landscape in there. Great, and then you wait. When you have it where you want it, you click done. And then instead of having a quote for myself or even the story here, I want to go to Amazon and find a review from a customer. So I'm going to go over to Amazon. Here's my book right there. There it is, 42 ratings. Yay for that, all 5 stars, bonus. I'm going to click on those ratings and it will take me to them. I'm going to find one that I really like. I highlighted this ahead of time. It says, I settled into my airplane seat and started reading and couldn't put the book down. Congratulations, Amanda, you've hit it out of the park. As I said, I couldn't put it down and I couldn't wait to see what was going to happen next with the characters or the storyline. I laughed and I cried and I love the entourage. You have a gift, keep it going. I can't wait for the next edition of your creativity. I'm going to, thank you, Amazon reviewer. I'm going to hit Control C and then head back over to my Facebook post. I'm going to double click on this text until it's all highlighted, and then I'm going to hit Control V. Canva does not like right click, copy, right click, paste. They prefer the keyboard command. So Control C is copy, Control V is paste. Now you'll see that this is quite long, longer than the text that they had. We have a couple of options. I can highlight all the text, and I can just put in a smaller number. I also know that on Facebook posts, people don't like to do a ton of reading, so I'm just going to trim this down a little bit to make it more reader friendly. And I'm also going to do a spelling error fix. Okay, and now that I have the text that the size that I want it, I'm going to make it bigger. I can either click on the number and just pick a larger one, or I can use this plus or minus as well. Okay. Then I'm going to put down here, we didn't have a specific name on that review, so I'm just going to write Amazon reviewer, or just Amazon review. I'm going to get rid of this author down here. And then I noticed it is not completely centered in here, which just kind of bugs me a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of these items and group them together. So how I'm going to do that is I'll click on one item and then hold down the Shift key and click on all the other items that I want to group. And then at the top, I'm going to hit the group button. And then that means that these can all go together and you don't have to move everything individually, which is fantastic. Then I'm going to drag the corner out till I get it the size that I want. And then I can drag it around this space until those pink lines pop up and tell me that I have centered it. Come on, pink lines. There we go, centered. Wonderful. The next thing I'm going to do with this particular box is, it looks fine with ivory and black, but if I wanted to play around with the coloring, I can click on an item and then click up here and change the color. And if you have Pro, it will pull, Canva Pro, it will pull the colors right out from the other images, from the photos that you've uploaded so that you can match them perfectly. So I kind of like this as the blue, and you can see it's a little bit transparent. So I'm going to go up to this transparency box and I'm going to make it all the way filled in so that we can really clearly see those words. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a book review on here, alerting people that, hey, this is something great that somebody said about my book. So I'm going to go to text, and I'm going to click on this option and change the words to book review. Be good if I could spell it correctly. And again, I am going to change the color of these to match what I have here on screen. So we can see that review. Let's see what happens if I make that. Play around with the colors. Book review, I like that. Okay, I might actually move this down a little bit into the corner more. Think about that. Great. Okay. And then once you have it the way that you want it to look, you'll go up to the download button. I like to, for Facebook, keep it as a PNG and then click download. And your first social media image that looks professionally developed and designed is ready to go. Once you download your image, you can then take it to Facebook or Instagram or any other social media platform that you choose. And already, your online appearance is looking better. Item number 2 on our list is creating a discussion guide to make using your book as easy and appealing for book clubs as possible. You want to make it as easy as possible for book clubs to say yes to you and using your book, and creating a list of questions is one of the easiest ways to make that happen. So again, we'll go up to the search box, and this time I want you to type in the word flyer. There are many different templates that you can use, but the one that I'm going to choose to use for us today is this one right here. Now, one of my books takes place in a chocolate store. And so rather than having this photo of flowers around the outside, I'm going to go to photos and I'm going to type in chocolate and see what comes up. So we can have that theme carry over. You just drag it right over into that box and it will pop right in. Or let's see what these ones do. Nope, it's too close. Doesn't work. How about this one? That one's good. I like that. Or let's check one of these. Oh yeah, I like that one the best. Okay, then you can just use this text, move it around to make it show what your questions are going to be. I would also add a little bit of branding on here. So in my uploads, if I go to read, oops, it's not going to show. I'm going to upload a photo again from my brand images. And I have a read right here. So I'm going to add this picture to it so that people know immediately this is my stuff that they are working with. Click on the picture and it will add right to your design. And then the next thing I want you to do is click on effects. And if you have Pro, you can use this great thing called background remover. And it's just going to take the backdrop of the design away and leave you only with the main image. Just allows you to do a little bit more with it. If the background isn't completely removed, they give you these erase and restore buttons so that you could go in and take even a little bit more away. So like if they had missed something around the edges here, I could go with the erase button and I could take that away. So I'm going to put myself down here at the bottom. Okay, and the book that I'm going to be talking about, oh, here's one other thing. I clicked on this. This is all one big group, kind of like we did with the last item. I'm going to hit ungroup so then I can work with these things independently. So the series that I'm talking about is Champion Chocolatier. And then I'm going to say book club, discussion guide. Actually, we're going to go book club. And then we're going to go a little bit lower. We're going to take this one actually again. Whoops. Oh. Click on the item, Control C, Control V will duplicate it. So we'll say book club discussion guide. Okay, now I kind of want that a little bit bigger so I can just press the plus key until I get it to be as big as I want. Great. Then I'm gonna get rid of this one. I would just be able to put this text here, make it fit the area, and then I'm not going to type in my questions now, but you can see how you would very easily be able to do that. You might look at this and say, I don't want this centered. Highlight the text, and then this button right here is going to allow you to change the alignment to left, right, center, or have it stretch all the way across evenly so that all the lines end up on the same side. You can also make this text a little bit bigger. Fill in those questions. I might also put a note here at the bottom that says, I love to visit book clubs in person and virtually. Contact me on my website. So that anyone who would find this would also know that you have this offering out there as well. We can see that it doesn't quite fit there. Can adjust it, put that there. The other thing that I would maybe do is I would add this book cover to the picture as well. Here we go. Here's the second book in the series. We'll just pretend that it's for that one. And we can put this right up here in the corner, adjust this. Again, if you click the items while you hold the shift key, you can group them together and then be able to move them as a group without having to move each individual one. Also, I could change the color of this so that it better matches it better matches everything else in there. So you can see here too, the pictures are coming up with the right colors so that everything is on there. So I might want to pick, instead of a black, I might want to pick these chocolate browns to better match the background of everything. Again, once you have this done, you can click the download button. For a book club discussion guide, I would recommend choosing the PDF print option, or if you want a slightly smaller sized file, you can click PDF standard, and then you can download that. Right now you can see it has 2 pages. We don't need this second page, so you can click the garbage can and it will take it away. And then download, and you'll be ready to go. Here are 2 example book club discussion guides that I've created for my books. When you're an authorpreneur, it's important to think of yourself and the things that you're doing like a business. So next up on our list is creating an instantly recognizable logo. Item number 3 on the list is to design a logo. You can either do this with a photo or without. I would highly recommend using a photo because it's easier for people to remember you once they see your face. So I'm going to choose this one right here. With Canva, if you have Canva Pro, you can upload your particular brand colors so that you can use them again and again. And so if I wanted to make sure that I was using my brand colors, I could go here and change things so that it matched. Instead of having group strides here, I'm gonna put my name. And then one of my taglines, as always, I call myself the word nerd. It's a big part of my branding. Instead of having this circle item thing here, I think, and definitely not mountains, I'm going to go to elements and type in open book and see what comes up. So I could put that at the top of my logo, stretch it out big. If you hit the position button, you can make sure that it is centered. If I like the fact that there was a circle behind it before, I can type in circle and I could put that in. I can either have like a very perfect circle. Again, if you hit the position button and go center middle, it'll put it right where you need it to go. If you click position again and click backward, you can make sure that it goes to the back. Looking good. We can switch this, make it a little bit smaller to fit better in there. Ooh, that's looking really good. I like that. And then on the bottom, I actually could take this one and go Control C, Control V, pull it down here, and then I can click flip vertical, and it's just gonna flip that right over for me. All right. Now, the only other thing that I'm thinking I might wanna do is, not sure that I like this brown behind here. I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna make this white though, because I did like that separation there. And then I'm gonna add this circle here with the landscape in it. Anytime you see the landscape on Canva, this means that you can drag a photo into there. So if I were to go to photos and I were to type in, let's say dictionary page, I can then just drag this dictionary page right into here, and then that will just take up the space that it was given. I don't like that there's the crease down the middle. I want just like a full plain page. So I'm going to try this one. I love that. I'm going to make it as big as, actually a little bit bigger. Again, I can go position, center, middle to make sure it's right there, and then backward, 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 backward. And now I have this fun backdrop of the printed page behind my work, and we are ready to go. Again, when you go to download this, you're going to want to download it as a PNG because that will give you the plain it will give you no backdrop. Okay, if you download it as a PDF or a JPEG, you'll get the white. And we don't want the white, we just want everything to be clear behind that, so that you can just put it on things and you don't have to worry about that white square. The white square isn't a part of the logo, the rest of it is. So if you go PNG, download, you'll be able to have that with a transparent background, and you have a beautiful logo. If you've done any digging into author marketing, you know that email lists are super important. But how do you get people to join yours? You can if you create a sign-up freebie that is appealing and desirable to your readers. And with Canva, it's easier than you think. Item number 4 is going to be very specific for you and your story and what is going to appeal most to your target reader. So it's going to take a bit of pretending, and this example might not be a perfect match for you and your story, but hopefully it will give you an example and show you how you can expand this idea into something that will work for you. So for our particular practice situation, we're going to pretend that our book is about a main character who is obsessed with the environment. In fact, that's a big plot line in the story. This character, let's call her Cynthia. Cynthia is really involved in her community and changing their habits so that they can protect their environment world, because she's a doomsdayer and she thinks that if we don't solve these problems, we're all gonna die, right? Okay, so maybe your target reader is also feeling in a similar way to Cynthia and would like to make some changes. So your freebie that you're going to give is an infographic that tells them easy changes they can make to save the planet. So not only can you read a book about changing the planet, but you too can do your part. So once you're on Canva, you're going to type in infographic and hit enter. And infographic is one of the most tedious, probably time-consuming, work-heavy items you can create on Canva, just because there are so many tiny pieces to it. But also by choosing to do one, you are presenting a very professional looking product. So this one is already kind of climate themed, which is lovely. But I would just go in and I would tweak it. So we'll just say 5 ways you can help the planet. Okay, we've already got these nice graphics on here, and we would go just in and we would change each of these items. Now, one thing that I haven't showed you yet on Canva that might be a really cool and easy thing to do to change this template to make it your own is head over to where it has styles. And on styles, they already have preset color palettes and preset font pairings, so that the designers of Canva have already decided these things look good together. You don't have to guess as to which fonts are going to match well. We've got these already picked out for you. So if I were to click on one, it's going to instantly change everything on the graphic to use these fonts and these colors. You can also hit the shuffle button, so it will take these colors and fonts and it will just switch them out so that in a different arrangement. Okay, so that's really cool way to make something very standard and make it unique. So if we keep clicking on these till we find one that we like, you can see it's taking kind of a long time to think, because this is really complex stuff that the computer is doing, and so it might just take a little while to make it happen. I would also make sure that on any freebie you create, you would put your website on there, your book title on there, so that if they see this, again, maybe they print it out and put it on their refrigerator because they really are trying to keep these tips in mind, that they would always be remembering where they got it from, where they learned this information from, and bring it back to you. Tying these colors into your book cover color might be a really great thing. So if you go back up into my uploads and I add in, this is not a book, but it's about book cover size, and it's the right kind of content here. So I could put my book cover on here again as another reminder. It's just floating there on the cloud. And doing everything that we can to bring this back to our product, our name, our website, and have a very visually stunning design as well. Again, you'll just download this as any format that you want, and have this available on your website. I think PDF would probably be the easiest one. That way you can embed it like in an email newsletter. When people sign up for your email newsletter, you can shoot it right back to them as a PDF. So item number 4, creating a freebie. Other freebie items you could create are mini quizzes or book club discussion guides like we already made, posters, motivational quote posters, all sorts of things that would just take your story or your knowledge a little bit further. It would appeal to the reader that they are getting something of value worth trading their email address for. Item number 5 also has to do with email, and that's improving the appearance of your newsletters with branded headers and footers. Back to Canva we go. For item number 5, we are going to type in email header. And we're going to create an image that you could put at the top of your email header, whether you use MailChimp or another type of email service. You'll be able to click add image and then have this at the top of every email so that people can see, hey, I know where this is coming from. I know who this is. Like instantly with just that image, they can connect to the information inside and you as a person who are sending it. So I like this one. Let's play around with it. Again, colors are going to be really helpful here. So I would go to my brand colors and I would change everything to reflect that. And again, if you click on the color once and then click change all, it will change everything on there for you. Let's see here. Let's get some other colors in there. All right. And then we can change this to say news from your favorite word nerd. I don't want it to extend down to a second line, so I'm going to ungroup this and then drag this box so it's all on one line. Get that down there. And then, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch that. And then I'm going to make my name the big part. Okay. Might want it a little bit bigger. You can also have specific fonts that you use. I know that a lot of mine is like a typewriter type font. And I happen to know that that one is Special Elite. And so then I can have that branding not only in my colors, but in my words. You can also, one other quick thing, see up here at the square where it has the 2 letters, a lowercase a and an uppercase a, you can click on it and either change it to all caps or caps and lowercase. So I like that. I like that. And then I might add in a picture of myself to make that branding even more relevant. Again, if we do the effects and the background remover, I can get rid of that square behind it and just use the main image of myself. I can also, if I hit this flip button, turn it horizontal. I should be able to. I don't know why it's not doing it. We'll come back and try that again. Otherwise, we can just move everything over. It should flip. Oh, there we go. It's just slow. We don't want to be upside down, but we do want to flip it horizontal. So I'm looking at you. Okay. And then continue to play around with the sizing until you get it to the way that you like it. Then when you're done, you'll be able to download this and then upload it into your email newsletter. Another thing that we had tried before that I liked a lot was when we put that print page behind it. So we could try to do that as well. Or you can go to background and you can look at different options. The best way that I can say is to just click on things until you get it the way that you like it, with backgrounds, just playing around. Effects, nope. Okay, all sorts of different colors there. Keep playing around with backgrounds until we get to one that we like. All right. Oh yeah, here it is. I like this paper one. And then the last thing would just be to kind of play around with these images and their location until you get them in the place that you like. The other thing you might want to consider is going back and reusing some of the images that you've used in the past so that your imaging stays consistent. So for example, we could go to upload and we could upload that item, that logo that we made before. And we could have that on here instead. So there is the logo. We wait till the thermometer fills up and that blue circle is done. And then we can have this right on here. So we'll just get rid of these things. You can put this right here instead. And again, we can get rid of that background so that it's just the circle. And then move that to where we want it. I kind of like it in the center. And then maybe even make me a little bit bigger right in there. All right. Then click download and we'll be good to go. After playing around a bit, here is the email header that I came up with. It's something that uses my font, photo, and logo, all looking professional and easily recognizable. Blogging is a popular way for authors to showcase their work and also build an audience. Having a branded blog image is a great way to increase the appearance of your website and also your professionalism. A blog header. This is something that I do every single week for my blog so that it creates an image that is exciting and pulls people in. Lots and lots of templates for you to choose. Again, if you want some ideas of where to start and you don't want to just scroll through the thousands and thousands of options that they have, you could just type in writer at the top and choose one that you feel looks interesting and good to you. Some people have the same blog template again and again and again. For example, if I go back here and I type in my writing club, which I also make blog posts for. If I click on this one for my writing club, which I make blog posts for, you can see that the same template is used every single time. I just change the color for it. And that makes it really well branded and really fast and easy to do, or you could make a different one every single time. It just really is up to you how much time and energy you want to put in it each week. So let's say you were doing a blog post all about creating characters. You could go to the photos and again, type in that page, that printed page. We can have that for the background. Then go to elements. Let's type in characters and see what comes up. And we have all of these great different people animals, elements that we could enter. So what I might do, here's one other thing that you can do is if you click on a person, then they're going to have some magic recommendations, meaning if you like this guy or this particular image, we have a whole bunch that kind of fit in with him. And so you can click and add all of those people and they'll look cohesive together. The other thing you can do is if you click on these three dots above the person, it will tell you who created this image. If you click there, you'll get that whole person's gallery. And so you'll be able to find more images that match and are a good fit for you. You'll also notice that this is kind of tinted. It didn't look like the plain white page that we had before. If you go to filter, you can choose none and it will go back to the plain white page, or you can pick a different color that you'd like to use, or you can pick black and white. So I kind of like it with none, just the way that it is. And then we can change this text to how to. We'll change it to black so we can read it better. We'll say create a character. So we're going to give this, we can make this a little bit smaller so that it uses the space, or we can just move it higher so that we have more room. How to create a character. It still is a little bit hard to read, so I'm going to go to elements and type in square. I'm going to be able to put a square right behind the text so that we can read it better. Position backward, oops, forward, not quite that far back. How to create a character. We can pull that up a little bit. You're also going to want to make sure that you put your website on there somewhere. So let's say someone sees this on Facebook or someone else's page, or someone shares it. We always want it to come back to you and your work. So make sure that you're putting your website on there. And again, this one's a little bit hard to read, so we'll just put a box right behind it, making that box whatever size we'd like. Probably change the color as well. You can use the arrow keys on your computer screen, or you can use your mouse to move it. And the other thing we can do is if you click on the background image and use the transparency button, you can fade that so it's not quite so obvious. All right, the last thing I might choose to do on here is add maybe, let's do an arrow. And here's another quick tip. If you click arrow and then you click and then you type in afterwards animated, it's going to give you arrows that move. And so it's kind of fun then. You can turn it down. You can use the arrow on the image to twist it the way that you want. And then when you download it, you can download it as either an MP4, or you can download it as a GIF. And then when you put it up on Facebook or on your website, it will have this animation with it, which is just going to grab people's attention a little bit more. As I'm looking at this, I'm going to change this black box to white because I think that that would look better. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Using those pink lines to help me know when I'm centered, and then we're good to go. We can go download, GIF, and then item number 6 on our list is done. Just 2 more to go. When all is said and done, this is the image that I created for a blog post header. What you could do is keep that same dictionary page background and each time just change out the title and the images in the foreground to create a branded image that you can easily repeat again and again for every single blog post. We said it before and I'll say it again, good book covers sell books. And with Canva, you can create yours without hiring an expensive designer. Item number 7 is a book cover, and this is really one of the coolest things that you can do on Canva. They have so many pre-made designs ready for you to choose and then adapt to. What I would recommend is going to blank and then typing in the genre of your particular book. So I could type in, let's say, mystery. And it's going to give me fonts and styles that really do match that genre the best. So let's see what this one is. All right, let's say my mystery has something to do with a chef. So I could go to photos and I could type in chef, and all of these chefs look kind of happy, but let's see if we drag in this photo, double click on it, slide it over so that it's more full. Still not really getting the creepy vibe. Let's go back to the beginning. I probably shouldn't pick mystery because I'm not a mystery writer. Let's type in romance. Not that I'm a super romance writer either, but I might be able to do more with it. So let's choose this one. About last night looks really funny, but I would like to have a different character on here. So I'm going to, again, let's say it's still going to be a romance, but it's going to have some cooking into it. So I'm going to go to elements and I'm going to type in chef. Let's say female chef. And I can scroll through and see if any of these feel like a good fit. She's winking. That makes me feel like she's cute and romantic. And instead of these lights, let's make them like gray or kitchen lights, you know? We can shift around the title. Or maybe, and then you can add in your name. And again, you can shift it so that the colors all match. And fits. Let's actually change that to like a purpley. See if I can get it to match hers. So this color looks pretty close, but if I want to adjust it even more, I can go up here to new color and I can drag it around until I get to the color that I feel like matches her leggings a little bit better. It's a little more blue than that. So you can just use this to adjust and get the color that you want, like that. Great. Then you can download this. Depending on what platform you're publishing with, they'll tell you exactly what kind of download they want, whether they want a PNG or a PDF or a JPEG or some other kind of file. You can pick the one that works best for you. I might play around here just a second and add in a few more elements, but I'll be sure to show you the final design. Here are two of my book covers that I have designed with Canva. The book cover on the right uses a stock photo image, and the book cover on the left uses original art from a local watercolor artist. You can see that both have turned out looking professionally. Both were designed in Canva. The options are limitless. Finally, item number 8, making eye-catching YouTube thumbnails to convince your viewers to click on your content. Now, you might be wondering why, as an author, you want to create YouTube content, but let me explain. And finally, the last one I'm going to show you is how to create a YouTube thumbnail that will catch your reader's eye or the viewer's eye on YouTube. What I'm going to do for this is I'm going to show you several of the other ones that I have created. And then we'll start a fresh one. All right, so here you can see several of the YouTube thumbnails that I have created. And what we'll do is we will just start fresh and create a brand new one by clicking this plus button that will add a new page. And then you can look at your templates to see what other people have done and are working well, I would recommend looking at common channels or channels that you're trying to be like and model your thumbnails off of what is already working. I know that a lot of people really like this text box, this call out text. So maybe you're going to do a video of you reading your first chapter of a book out loud. I do several of those of my own books and also of books that I recommend to other teachers. I'm going to go to uploads. I'm going to put my face right in here so they know that this is coming from me. You hover right over the picture, it should just plop right in there. Not sure why it's not. We'll just click it and then we'll get rid of that other picture. We'll put my picture in there. Drag it to fill the space, and then you can click position backward, 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 backward until it's all the way behind. And then I could say first chapter. It's too big, so just hit the minus arrow. First chapter until it fits right in there. And then we'll say read aloud. Again, just subtract until it gets all onto that line. And then we could say close quarters. By Amanda Ziba. I'm gonna change that. The other thing I like to do on here, if you go shift, get those both together, and then you can make it as big as you want. The other thing I like to do on here is I like to somewhere on my YouTube thumbnails put on a YouTube actual logo so that if this image gets used elsewhere, people know that the original content is on YouTube. To do that, go to Elements, type in YouTube, and its logo will pop right up. You have several different ones that you can use. You don't have to use the same one every time, but I do so that it kind of stays consistent. One other thing that I might want to do is move this up so that I've got more room on the bottom there for this logo. Okay. You can see that this doesn't stretch all the way to the bottom, so I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger so that it does. And then there we have it, a YouTube thumbnail. Again, if you want to add, an arrow might be kind of fun on here to kind of point back to the book. So I could put that there, flip, horizontal, whoops, vertical, horizontal, there we go. And then tip it a little bit so that it's going from the read aloud to the book. Change the color so that it matches. Could maybe even make it one of these lighter colors so that it sticks out a little more. And then you can download it. On YouTube, when you upload a thumbnail, they want it to be a JPEG, but if you want to upload it as a higher quality image, you might just have to download it a second time, but you're going to want to download this as a JPEG. Here's another thing. This document has 48 pages because it has like all of my YouTube thumbnails on it. That helps me for organization, but we don't want to download all 48 every single time. So you'll click on this button, you'll uncheck all pages, and then you'll just slide down to the one that you want, check that, hit done, make sure you have the file form that you want, JPEG, download. And here it is, that final professional looking branded image. With a little time invested now, you'll be able to massively improve the appearance of what you put out into the world, and as a result, present a professional author platform people will want to follow. Soon, invitations to connect, present, and hire will begin rolling in. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about how to level up your authorpreneur career, head over to my website and check out my course, The Take Action Author Plan. In this course, there are 3 modules, 4 workbooks, and dozens of bite-sized videos, along with 1 coaching call to help you move forward with your writing goals and level up. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and come back again for more great content from the Word Nerd.